We promise you this is not an April Fool's joke, what you're about to hear. It is an actual lawsuit filed by an attorney in federal court about Diddy.
There's no vindication for me because for 4 years I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jaguar Wright, the soulful voice that once echoed through collaborations with some of the biggest names in music, has now become the whistleblower that Hollywood wishes would disappear. Once celebrated for her artistry, she's now infamous for something far darker, accusations that could send shockwaves through the entertainment world. Wright has stepped into the spotlight to make claims against two of the music industry's most untouchable powerhouses, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, accusing them of being part of a shadowy conspiracy that allegedly extends its grip beyond fame and fortune into manipulation, control, and even cover-ups that could chill the spine of even the most skeptical observer.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup.
We've all seen Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the so-called Bonnie and Clyde of the music world, flaunt their empire of billions, smiling on red carpets, performing for sold-out arenas, and curating an aura of untouchable perfection. But Jaguar Wright paints a very different picture, one of ruthless ambition and alleged darkness lurking beneath their polished image. In her live streams and interviews, Wright claims the Carters are not only complicit in silencing dissent within the industry, but are also deeply tied to a clandestine network that shields their secrets and crushes those who dare to expose them. And she isn't stopping with words. She's daring to name names, point fingers, and challenge the very foundations of their reign.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean.
But here's where it gets even more chilling. Jaguar Wright believes she's being hunted. That's right, she says her life is in danger, and for good reason. According to Wright, every revelation she makes edges her closer to what she ominously calls the ultimate price. She's convinced that powerful forces, ones with endless resources and no moral boundaries, are watching her every move. If something happens to me, she once warned, you'll know who did it. And while some might dismiss these claims as paranoia, others point to the growing list of industry figures who've mysteriously vanished, fallen from grace, or faced untimely ends after crossing the wrong people. Could it be that Jaguar Wright is next?
You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter.
And then there's the money trail. Jaguar alleges that Beyoncé and Jay-Z have perfected the art of keeping their hands clean while wielding immense influence, allegedly using secret payouts to suppress damaging testimonies. Rumors suggest that some of these payments have gone to former employees, collaborators, and even victims who were allegedly coerced into silence. Could this be why we rarely hear anyone publicly criticizing the Carters, despite their decades-long dominance in an industry infamous for betrayal and backstabbing? Wright seems to think so. She claims this isn't about protecting a brand. It's about protecting secrets so damning they could destroy everything.
A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years.
But Wright's accusations don't stop at the present. Her revelations have dredged up whispers from the past, dark whispers about the untimely demise of Aaliyah, the beloved R&B icon who tragically passed away in a plane crash in 2001. Could her demise have been more than just an accident? Some conspiracy theorists have long speculated that Aaliyah's close ties to certain industry figures who also happen to be at the center of Wright's claims, may have made her a target. And now, Wright's allegations have reignited those suspicions, suggesting that Aaliyah might have been caught in a sinister exit strategy designed to protect powerful interests.
Why the f would you need to sign? A nigga don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental.
Yeah. Do you feel like...
Riddle me that. Riddle me that. Work with me here in this moment.
And I'm gonna ask you.
A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
And let's not forget Diddy. Yes, Sean Diddy Combs, another titan of the music world, is right at the heart of these swirling accusations. Wright alleges that Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyoncé have been connected in ways the public could barely begin to comprehend. She's hinted at backroom deals, dark rituals, and alliances that extend far beyond the music industry. And if you think this sounds like the stuff of conspiracy theories, consider this. Diddy himself is now facing legal battles and allegations of a deeply disturbing nature. Jaguar Wright has pointed to these allegations as proof that the industry's facade of glitz and glamour hides a much darker underbelly.
That's my initial reaction, because that's how I always feel when I see situations like this. And then there's this weird sense of grief, because it is Diddy, right? Diddy is a hip-hop hero. He's an ordinary person who did extraordinary things. To sit here and act like the man wasn't a huge part of our upbringing is a damn lie. So there's this weird sense of grief, like another one of our heroes has ruined their legacy, and it's their own fault because of poor choices.
But what's really unsettling is how these theories intertwine and evolve. Social media has become a breeding ground for speculation, with TikTok users diving into everything from J. Cole's cryptic lyrics to resurfaced videos of celebrities seemingly pledging allegiance to Beyoncé and Jay-Z at award shows. One theory that's gone viral claims that J. Cole's hit song She Knows isn't just about personal betrayal. It's a coded reference to the Carters' alleged involvement in the demises of Aaliyah, Lisa Left Eye Lopes, and even Michael Jackson. The connection? All three perished on the 25th of the month, a detail that conspiracy theorists have latched onto as evidence of a chilling pattern. We've seen clips of Adele breaking her Grammy in half to dedicate it to Beyoncé, Ye interrupting Taylor Swift to proclaim Queen Bee's greatness, and countless other celebrities heaping almost ritualistic praise on the Carters. While most of us chalked it up to respect for their talent, Jaguar Wright and her supporters are asking a more sinister question. Is this praise freely given, or is it part of something much darker? Are these public moments of admiration actually subtle signals of loyalty to an unseen hierarchy?
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyoncé, who was struggling.
And the more we dig, the more the coincidences pile up. Wright isn't the first to suggest that the music industry operates like a secret society, with its own rules, punishments, and rewards. But she's certainly one of the boldest voices to call out its most powerful players by name. And as her claims gain traction, the backlash has been fierce. Critics have labeled her unhinged, bitter, and desperate for attention. But Wright's supporters argue that these attacks only prove her point, that the industry will stop at nothing to protect its own. And then there's the question of legacy. Jaguar Wright claims that part of the reason this alleged conspiracy exists is to control narratives, rewrite history, and ensure that certain figures are remembered as untouchable icons. Could this be why Aaliyah, despite her immense talent, has been somewhat overshadowed by Beyoncé in the years since her passing? Could it be why so many artists who've crossed paths with the Carters have either fallen into obscurity or faced public scandals?
If we get to the bottom of Tupac's when that is finally revealed, 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that they were all committed by the same two people, father and son.
As we follow this tangled web of accusations, one thing becomes clear. Jaguar Wright is playing a dangerous game. With every live stream, every interview, she's not just risking her reputation, she's risking her life. And whether you believe her or not, her story is impossible to ignore. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the questions couldn't be more chilling. How far does this conspiracy go? Who else might be involved? And most importantly, who will be next? While Jaguar Wright continues to spill secrets that could unravel the very fabric of the music industry, the silence from Beyoncé and Jay-Z has become deafening. No denials, no lawsuits, no public statements, just an eerie, calculated quiet that seems to hang heavier with each passing day. For a couple known to be meticulous about their image and unafraid to flex their legal muscle when provoked, this lack of response is raising eyebrows. Could it be a strategic move to avoid drawing more attention to Wright's allegations, or is this silence something darker, an admission, perhaps, that there are truths they cannot afford to let come to light? Fans are starting to ask the uncomfortable question: is their power rooted not in their music, but in the secrets they're so desperate to protect?
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
But stepping into Jaguar Wright's shoes reveals a story far more complicated than just the accusations she's making. Behind the fiery live streams and bold claims lies a woman who seems to be battling the immense psychological toll of taking on Hollywood's most powerful. Her social media presence is a roller coaster of emotions. One minute, she's fiercely calling out the Carters and Diddy. The next, she's breaking down in tears, pleading with fans to understand the danger she's in. Watching her, it's hard not to wonder, is this the unraveling of someone buckling under the weight of her own revelations? Or is this the result of years of being silenced, gaslit, and vilified by the very system she's trying to expose? The emotional strain is written all over her face. In one particularly haunting video, she speaks about sleepless nights, constant paranoia, and an overwhelming sense that they are always watching. She's claimed that cars have followed her, strange figures have appeared outside her home, and her phone has been mysteriously hacked. To the outside world, this might sound like paranoia, but considering the stakes of her accusations, could it be possible that she's genuinely being targeted? After all, history has shown that those who challenge powerful institutions often find themselves isolated, discredited, or worse. What makes Jaguar's situation even more chilling is how alone she is in this fight. Unlike other whistleblowers in the entertainment world who've rallied support from fellow artists, activists, or even legal teams, Jaguar seems to have no allies standing by her side. Instead, she's surrounded by critics, skeptics, and even former collaborators who have distanced themselves from her. This isolation only fuels the speculation that there's a deliberate effort to paint her as unstable. An effort that, if successful, could undermine everything she's trying to reveal. Could this be part of the ultimate price she fears she'll pay for speaking out?
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
And yet, despite the emotional toll, Jaguar Wright refuses to back down. In the face of endless ridicule and mounting pressure, she continues to dig her heels in, releasing new accusations and connecting dots that most wouldn't dare touch. It's this determination that makes her story so haunting and so polarizing. Is she a hero bravely exposing the dark underbelly of the industry, or a deeply troubled individual spiraling into self-destruction? The answer may lie somewhere in between, but one thing is clear: her journey is far from over. Her plight also serves as a chilling reminder of the human cost of exposing the truth. Whether or not Jaguar's claims prove to be accurate, her experience underscores how whistleblowers often become casualties of their own bravery. The constant scrutiny, public ridicule, and emotional exhaustion can break even the strongest spirits. And as Jaguar Wright continues to fight her uphill battle, we're left wondering, will her story end as a cautionary tale or a triumphant one?
Yeah, look, this is one of the most shocking lawsuits I've read. If this had been the first Diddy lawsuit, our jaws would be on the floor, but there's a quality to it that sounds like almost a screenplay being written, because he says he was lapsing sort of in and out of consciousness, and he's hearing voices of celebrities throughout this lawsuit. There's obviously the mask that he says he was wearing and being degraded and humiliated. There's also a bit of a Mad Libs quality of the...
And yet, this isn't the first time the Carters have been accused of keeping skeletons locked tightly away. Over the years, their empire has expanded far beyond music into fashion and tech, but the whispers of questionable alliances and behind-the-scenes power plays have always lingered. Jaguar Wright's claims have simply reignited those flames, forcing fans and critics alike to consider what might lie beneath their glossy exterior. What's even more intriguing is the timing of all this. With Diddy's name now dragged through the mud in a courtroom circus of allegations involving coercion, manipulation, and shocking freak-off parties, the pressure on Jay-Z has never been greater. Decades of friendship with Diddy are now being scrutinized under a harsh spotlight. And the question we're all asking is simple: how much did Jay-Z really know?
So there would presumably be people who could verify it or say it didn't happen.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems. You're right. When you mention all those people, they may all have alibis.
Well, Jay-Z certainly seems to have one.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z has mentioned that he's there with Beyoncé, but we know that Jay-Z was in New York.
Yes.
The night that it was supposed to be. Now,
the night of King Combs of his birthday, which happened to be April 1st.
Let's not forget, this is the same Jay-Z who once said, to be in a deal, you need an exit strategy. But did that philosophy extend to his relationships? Wright seems to think so, hinting that Jay-Z might have turned a blind eye to Diddy's behavior for years, perhaps to protect his own interests. And with Diddy's ongoing legal battles exposing a dark undercurrent of abuse and control, fans can't help but wonder if Jay-Z's close ties to one of the music industry's most controversial figures could be his Achilles heel. Could this be why he stayed silent in the face of Jaguar Wright's accusations? After all, speaking up might mean acknowledging a connection to Diddy's alleged transgressions, and that could crumble everything he and Beyoncé have worked so hard to build. But let's take a step back. Diddy's current trial isn't just a legal battle, it's a spectacle that has captivated the world. The details emerging from the courtroom are horrifying: lavish parties that spiraled into coercion, hidden recordings used as blackmail, and an unrelenting need to control those around him. And while Diddy faces these allegations directly, the ripple effect is impossible to ignore. Jay-Z's name hasn't been mentioned in court, but his long-standing friendship with Diddy has become a lightning rod for speculation. Could it be that their connection runs deeper than business? Could Jay-Z's silence be an effort to avoid being implicated in the fallout of Diddy's alleged crimes? These are the questions fans are beginning to ask, and they're questions that demand answers.
I think that there might be a few truths thrown in there somewhere to some of these allegations, but this one almost seems like a fan fiction, or like there are parts of it that just seem a little fabricated. You know, like word salad, all the celebrities thrown in there, and usually it comes back that they weren't even anywhere near the area. It might be a strategy by his lawyers, but who knows?
And then there's Beyoncé, the queen herself, who has built an almost untouchable legacy. Her fans are famously protective, quick to shut down any criticism or conspiracy theory, no matter how wild. But even her most loyal supporters can't ignore the growing wave of speculation. Clips of celebrities, Adele, Ye, Lady Gaga, publicly praising Beyoncé at award shows have resurfaced, sparking whispers that these moments might not have been as organic as they seemed. Could these overt displays of admiration be more than just respect for her talent? Could they be signs of an unspoken hierarchy, one that Jaguar Wright claims is designed to keep the truth buried? And what about the darker theories? Wright's revelations have reignited long-dormant rumors about the untimely ends of Aaliyah, Lisa, Left Eye Lopes, and even Michael Jackson. Social media has exploded with speculation, fueled by coincidences like all three artists passing on the 25th of different months. TikTok users have dissected J. Cole's song She Knows, claiming its lyrics contain hidden references to Beyoncé and Jay-Z's alleged involvement in these tragedies. While most dismiss these theories as far-fetched, there's no denying the growing sense of unease. Could these wild accusations hold a kernel of truth? Or is it all just the internet's way of feeding its insatiable appetite for drama?
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play?
Now, mind you, September 11th happened a week later. 9/11 happened a week later. Do you think that took away from it?
Once again.
Jaguar Wright, however, doesn't seem to think these are coincidences. She's hinted at connections that go far beyond what the public has been told, suggesting that these tragedies might have been part of a larger exit strategy, orchestrated to protect certain interests. And as chilling as that sounds, it's her latest warning that has everyone on edge. In a cryptic social media post, Wright alluded to a final secret, something so explosive, so devastating, that it could burn the entire industry to the ground. She's promised to reveal it soon, but she's also admitted that she fears for her life. If something happens to me, she said, you'll know why. And that leaves us with one haunting question. What is this final secret? Could it be the key to unraveling everything we thought we knew about Hollywood's elite? Or is it simply another piece of the puzzle, one that will send us spiraling further into a web of speculation and intrigue? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. The implications could shake the entertainment world to its core, and we're all left wondering, who will speak up next? Tell us what you think. Could Jaguar Wright's claims finally expose the truth? Or are we witnessing just another chapter in the endless saga of Hollywood scandals? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because, trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and stay tuned.